It is very rare in today's video gaming market where a game actually takes me back to a time when I was just a young lad. A game that is making me relive what I loved about my childhood, and that game is none other than Donkey Kong Bananza. This game, guys, has to be one of the best games on the market right now, and it has to be one of the games that has blended nostalgia with new game mechanics almost perfectly. I honestly, through my playtime of this game so far, have found almost nothing wrong with this game, and that is so hard to do. And I'm so excited to be talking about this game with you guys because Donkey Kong games have always had a very special place in my heart, going back to being one of the first video games, platformers, 3D games I've ever played, completed, beaten. It's crazy that it's been, it's taken such a long time for Nintendo to go back and really make a true to form Donkey Kong game. So what we're talking about today in this video is Donkey Kong Bananza, some of the first impressions of the game I'm playing so far. I'm probably about halfway through right now in my gameplay, and I'm loving every second of it. So if you guys want to hear more, stay right where you are. Stay here right now. You are watching The Average Joe Show, and let's talk about some bananas. I couldn't come up with anything different. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you've all been well. I have been very busy. As you can see in the back, we are in the new setup, and it is a little bit of a mess. I don't have my actual gaming desk, so it's all kind of just thrown together right now, so I didn't realize how much stuff I had. But anyway, Donkey Kong Bananza, of course, comes out when I'm moving. Perfect, right? And it was actually not even on my radar. I didn't even know what date it came out, what it was coming out. I saw the Nintendo YouTube launch trailer. I was like, oh, that game's out already? Yeah, time flies. And I remember when I was watching the trailer for that, the Direct at lunchtime at work on my lunch break, and I remember thinking, oh my god, there's so much to this game. And like it kept going, and I was like, what could they have possibly done do next? What else is new? And suffice it to say, that is the entirety of this game so far has been me saying, what the heck is going to happen next? Because it's like every new turn, every time you go and you level up, it's like something brand new that you never even thought of happening. And that is what is so incredible about this game. It is like, I always feel like I'm the type of person that can find the bad in things, right? And I can't. There's one small thing that I will touch on for about less than 20 seconds that I think may be an issue, but it probably really isn't. This game is like perfect, and it's borderline perfect for lots of good reasons. And I think the biggest reason why it is going perfect is because it's taking from like original Donkey Kong games. It's taking a lot of that kind of nostalgia, and it is crafting it in a way that makes it almost feel brand new. So if you haven't played the games before, you wouldn't even notice that these were in the games before. And if you are a longtime fan that have played the original trilogy, if you've played the Nintendo 64 Donkey Kong game and all the other Donkey Kong games that come out like Tropical Freeze and Donkey Kong Returns, there's literally like a piece of nugget or like of something in this game that you're gonna just like, because you're like, oh, that was in that game, right? And it goes from mechanics, it goes from collectibles, the balloons, it's everything. It's just a huge love letter, and the devs have done a great job of incorporating everything very seamlessly, and it feels so natural in the game that, you would, if you had never played a Donkey Kong game before, then you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even have known that it was in past games. And that takes a lot of skill, a lot of creativity to pull off, because I feel like a lot of games that try to do the nostalgia kind of grab, they end up going too hard into it, and then the game just ends up being like, oh, you can tell that they're just trying to cater to that fan base that just wants the nostalgia. But between the old and the new, this game is so unique. It's its own style, and it's really, I feel like, how Splatoon was Nintendo's answer to like a shooter. I feel like this game is the Nintendo answer for Minecraft, right? Because what Minecraft does is it has a mix of action, it has a mix of like a skill level where you have to kind of know how to craft things, you have to know how to maneuver. The verticality in Minecraft is pretty important to understand, and I think that's what Nintendo has taken a lot of inspiration. The team that has previously worked on Mario Odyssey has done a great job of taking that kind of inspiration and meshing it into a Nintendo IP where it really works, right? Because we don't want another Minecraft, right? Minecraft's already here. It's here. People love it. We all love it. You don't want to just like play a Minecraft copy. But in this game, you can just go anywhere you want in terms of like the level. You can go as high as you want or as low as you want. And one of the best parts about this game is you can do it seamlessly and very quickly. It's easier to do than probably in Minecraft, right? Because Minecraft, if you're gonna go dig a mine, it takes a little bit longer. But in this game, you can just run up stuff. You can dig as fast as you want. You can go Bonanza and just freaking go right to the bottom of the map, and it's very fun to do. And you might be like, but yeah, why would you need to go all the way to the bottom? And the answer is just because you simply can. There's no better way to explain how good this game feels without mentioning the fact that like when you go into a tutorial of a game, you want to finish it as fast as you can and you want to get onto the main part of the game. Well, in this game's tutorial, you just kind of want to stay in the tutorial. You want to be like, oh, I can like dig a level down and I can go smash everything, and like, is there something behind this wall? Can I go deeper? What happens when I do this? Like, I felt weird that I was leaving the tutorial because I felt like I needed to be doing something, and it just felt so good just practicing the mechanics and figuring out how the game worked. I've never especially since I've gotten older in gaming, you know, it's like I'm not a kid anymore. Like, I'm not super fascinated by, you know, the entry stuff anymore. I just kind of want to get to the main chunk of the game, the story, right? But not in this game. Crazy. That part is stunning. You might find yourself wanting to just stay in the basic tutorial for an hour or an hour and a half before you even get to the main game, which is saying something. Like, that is a powerful statement. You're able to get interest from even the most simplest things in this game, and that is just crazy to me. It's crazy that, you know, it's taken such a long time for a game to come out like this to grab my attention. It's shocking. It is absolutely shocking. But anyway, we were talking about movement. The movement in this game and the movement for Donkey Kong games is, if you guys haven't played a Donkey Kong game, movement in these games has always been a high point, and they totally nail every aspect of this. So when you're playing as Donkey Kong, you have several options. There is a skill tree where you can level up, get some new abilities. Basic mechanics is you can, if there's a wall, you can climb up it, right? Because it's like a monkey can just climb up walls, right? Anything you punch, you know, you throw a punch out, you can punch upward, downward, side to side. And if there is dirt or a stone in your way, you can, if it's breakable, which most things in this game are, you can just go right through it. And you can pick up the ground. You can kind of do like this called like a surf turf kind of jump on the kind of like in Legend of Zelda, the shield surf, and you can just kind of like roam around on that. That's pretty fun to do. There's a double jump. Not like a traditional double jump. You have to have dirt in your hands and then press the jump again and it will do like a double jump. But since you can basically run up everything, so it's not a huge issue. You can also throw things like in regular Donkey Kong games. There's a somersault, which has always been a part of a Donkey Kong game. The key somersault. But the key thing here is that the somersault isn't ruined like in 64. They made it so much better. It is not slow. You can jump out of it like the 2D Donkey Kong games, and it works just like a 2D Donkey Kong somersault roll in a 3D world environment. It is just very cool. It's a great touch, honestly. It's so fast paced, and you can just throw yourself and just move around the map so quickly. You really can traverse very easily around the map, which is really good because a lot of this game, you know, requires you to be going down levels. It requires you to be going up levels. Like in normal platformers, you only have one surface to get across, right? And once you're at max speed, that's like the fastest you can go, right? But now just think about this, it's like you go down a level, you're at a new surface potentially, and like you have to keep going. Like there's so many different things that you can be doing in terms of places to be. And the fact that the movement system is just, in my eyes, perfect and easy to maneuver and easy to understand, it is very accessible, which is very good, because I feel like a lot of Donkey Kong games, and people might not be like the biggest Donkey Kong fans, because sometimes in the past games the movement is kind of weird. The movement might be like a Tropical Freeze, it might be a little bit heavier, and then in Returns it feels different than Tropical Freeze, but even though they're like kind of based off of the same game. Same thing with the original trilogy, same thing with Donkey Kong 64. They all have different movements. I would say probably the best Donkey Kong has felt other than this game is Tropical Freeze, and then probably before that would be Donkey Kong Country 2, but this game has to top. Like, it feels so smooth, so quick. Like, there is absolutely nothing you could do. It's like a no contest. You can't even argue. Other than the movement, collecticons kind of games where you just kind of going through the map, you're trying to collect things. Generally, people have problems with these. This is because there's a lot of unnecessary things to be collecting. And I mentioned earlier that this is the team that did Mario Odyssey. And one of the problems I had with Odyssey is it ran into problem with collecting all the power moons, right? Because after you beat the game, there's really no reasons for you to really be collecting all the moons. And there was like purple coins around, and sometimes they, it's like I just like got everything that I wanted. I didn't want to collect it. That's basically your main problem with collectathons, is that I was calling it collectathons, man, I'm dumb. But anyway, collectathons, that's what I meant, guys. I'm sorry about that. Collectathons, not everyone likes collecting everything, right? Some people do like it, but other people don't. I'm one of the persons where, if I get to that point where it's like, yeah, I don't need to go the next step, I don't have to go behind this wall to find those coins, then you put the game down and you generally never go back. In this game, however, I think they have done away with old style collectathons and have introduced a new way to make it way more enjoyable. What do I mean by that? Well, fossils are the main thing that you can get in the game to kind of level up and progress your character, as well as skill points to level up and progress Donkey Kong and Pauline. Oh yeah, guys, spoiler, Pauline's in this, but she is in the trailer, so you guys should have known about that. Fossils will help you unlock different outfits, which then have different stats on them for both the characters. You can change Donkey Kong's fur color to like blue. I like the blue personally. He has zebra pants on. He has a cool tie. You can level those up, so you go back to shops that have those items, and you can basically spend more fossils to get it to the next level. So kind of like Breath of the Wild in terms of like how to level it up. And the cool thing is some of the fossils have like throwbacks. So for instance, I'm in a jungle world right now, the jungle sub level right now, and the fossils are the beavers from Donkey Kong Country 1 and the pig from Donkey Kong Country Returns. So like cool callbacks. There's like a Triceratops from Mario Odyssey, like from the Fossil Falls level. Like tons of cool fossils. I just like that collecting. And the fossils are basically just everywhere on the map. It could be on the overworld stuck in the dirt, or it could be somewhere underground. So there is reasons to dig underground. So it's not just like this empty open. If you're going into the ground, you're either getting gold, you're getting fossils, you're getting chests. And what the chests do is sometimes it gives you gold, but then other times it gives you maps. And the maps could be fossils, large fossils, or even better, the bananas. So the golden bananas in this game, or like the rock bananas, I don't know exactly what they're called, but I should be paying attention a little bit more, reading some dialogue. But anyway, every time you eat a banana, you gain one part of a skill point, and to get a full skill point, you're gonna need 5 bananas total. They're a little bit harder to find in the fossils, but sometimes they are just in random spots. Other times you have to do missions to get them, and then other times as you're progressing through the game, there could be like a banana bunch. So like you get 3 to 5, and when you unlock a skill point, you can then use that skill point on the skill tree, and on top of that, you can upgrade the abilities in the skill tree. So it's not just like I only unlocked this once. You have to go back and then use more skill points to make that ability better, which huge. Like Donkey Kong has never had something like this, and it gives us something to work towards in each level. It makes every banana feel important. It makes the power moon situation in Mario Odyssey, that's all gone, because now you are upgrading your character and you're making him better. And I won't go into spoilers on all the Bonanza stuff, but like when you unlock a Bonanza Donkey Kong mode or whatever, you then get to level that up even further. So it's like as the game goes on, you're not just stuck in a skill tree. Your skill tree is also getting bigger at the same time. And normally you have to do the skill tree right, in my eyes, to make the game feel better. And a lot of skill trees just get too big and messy, but this one's so simple. And it's like I was gonna collect the bananas anyway, you know, because it's Donkey Kong. I'm gonna go try to find all the bananas, and it's just making the progression feel worth it to me. It's making going and finding all this stuff on the map feel worth it, which is Collectathon's problem. Like, why do I have to collect this? Like, and this is one of the problems with Donkey Kong 64 is that you had to go back to a barrel and change to like Diddy Kong to get red banana coins. But why do I need a red banana coins? Oh yeah, to feed you know, some random character. But anyway, talking about characters, let's keep going. I could talk about this game for an hour, but I know you guys have very important things to do. Characters, they're all good. One of the biggest issues with Donkey Kong games after Rare left was having that diverse, unique character cast. You know, like Kremlins, King K. Rool, some of the Donkey Kong 64 Kongs, you know, like the Kong family and stuff. And when Returns came out, you know, you always had Diddy or Dixie or Cranky and Funky Kong, but you didn't have any extra. So it always just felt like they existed, and then it was like either animals. And some of that Rare love was just not explored for over decades, right? Does that have to do with Rare being bought out by Microsoft? Yes, it does. And they probably weren't able to use those characters in their own right because Rare made them. But in this game, heavy Rare inspiration from character design, the enemies that you're fighting up against, you know, whether it be crocoids, which are pretty much reminiscent of Donkey Kong Country 1, or if it is the more basic Returns where you might have like a zebra as like an NPC. And you know, it's really funny that the zebras say bra. Like, I was getting bra too when I was in the zebra world, and those are the callbacks, you know, where, like I was saying earlier in the video, where it's like they took the nostalgia part and then they took the Returns part and then they just put it together, and then that's like how they've always wanted to be making Donkey Kong. Or like, I don't know why it took this long, like, and that is so cool. Like, it's just so many callbacks, and the enemies, like Grumpy Kong, I think it's like Violet Kong or something, like the main enemies in the game right now are Kongs, you know what I mean? So it's like cool, they're going back to like all that kind of creative stuff. And there is one part I will touch on that I think is really cool, is like when the elders are talking to you and you're doing their I guess their quest to get the Bonanza mode. They sound like the Ori and the Blind Forest kind of spirits, and I love that game. I love Ori, and I thought it was really, really neat that they sound just like the elders in that game, or the spirits in that game. And I was like, that is pretty cool. I mean, they're cool characters too, right? You know, just like sleepy old DJ kind of huge animals. Like, it's just wacky. Like, this game is perfect. It's wacky, and I love every second of it. Oh, speaking of the DJs, the team at Nintendo has done a great job of understanding music in this, and I was so happy because Donkey Kong in the past has always thrived on great musical scores that make the game immersive. If the original trilogy didn't have a good soundtrack, they wouldn't be as replayable as they are to this day. Bramble Blast, that is iconic. There's reasons why that is very popular in terms of video game music. Even the fact that, like, when you make a course, and this is going back to 2D, if you make a course and it's in the jungle, right, you want to have that jungle soundtrack. That was like early on. It was a lot easier to do, I feel like, early on, because things got more simpler. But as games have progressed, you know, it's like now people can do like an orchestra, right? It's no longer like that 16-bit, 32-bit era of games. And in this game, they kind of did that. Like, if you're in a mine shaft thing, it's like quiet, right? And it has like that old Donkey Kong vibe where it's like, oh yeah, I'm in like a cave in Donkey Kong. But like, if you get closer to Ingot Island or whatever the starting was, like, you know, and it looked like people were just jamming out there, like having a hoot. you know, like the party music, the pump up got louder, and then you go away from it and it like dies down back to that quiet dripping dropping when you're on a mine car. Like that kind of same energy like in Minecraft Madness in the original Donkey Kong. And it's like a celebration almost. It's a celebration of all the great music that these games have had over the years. And in every Donkey Kong game, there's always been fantastic music. And it's just all going together so perfectly. And I can't find anything bad with this game to even talk about. So the only one thing that I will say, it's kind of weird, and it's not a huge issue. This is me just nitpicking. The boss fights might be a little bit too easy, but I don't know if it's because like I might have leveled up my, you know, Donkey Kong a little bit too much and for the boss, or if like they're just like there is just a super easy way to beat a boss. There hasn't been anything like too challenging. The bosses kind of like they're like, and I wonder how many Splatoon creators worked on this game, because like they come in, it's kind of like that Splatoon, like when you go up against a Splatoon boss, they kind of come out and you're like, oh, this kind of feels like Splatoon. And it kind of does feel like Splatoon. There's like always like an arena, and then you kind of have to do like some, you know, three-dimensional movement around to get to the person. But so far there hasn't been like any series. It's basically if you can attack the boss's weak point, they lose their health. And you know what, I can't really complain because I'm having such a great time with this game. That might be the only thing, but like also boss fights you don't need super long boss fights to make a game really good. And I just want to keep playing this game. I will go out on the internet with this statement saying this game is a generational game. This game is what I've been waiting for probably from year 4 of the Switch. This was back when the PS5 came out, back when the Xbox Series X came out, and Nintendo stayed with the Switch and hasn't jumped into the next generation yet. There hasn't been any generation defining games. I mean, maybe like Helldivers 2. Maybe. Like, there hasn't been a game so solid, so in every aspect is good, is perfect, can't find flaws. There hasn't been that since like I don't even know when. Like, I literally cannot find anything wrong with this game, and it is a Donkey Kong game. I can't believe it's not like a Mario or Zelda game. It is a Donkey Kong game. Let that sink into you. Like, it's never been like a top tier IP. I think everyone that is a Donkey Kong fan will say that the games are very good. I feel like he's probably on the same level as Kirby. You know, people come to me, oh, Kirby's pink kids game. I was like, do you know you have to like fight demons after the end of every Kirby game? Like, he's literally fighting demons. He's fighting Satan. And I feel like they've always been like Kirby and Donkey Kong have been in like the same level, but God, this game has been a blast, a banana blast. And that's all the time I got for today. I will stop raving about this game. Possibly could be doing I could do a do's and don'ts of this game, but there's literally no don'ts. Like, if you want to try something, just go try it. Like, there's nothing I wouldn't do in this game, which is absolutely crazy. But like I said before, thank you for watching the Average Joe Show. If you like this video, go ahead and like it. If you like the style of my channel, if you like me, you know, beautiful Joe. If you like Donkey Kong Bananza, hit that subscribe button. We are almost to 300 subs, guys. And when we get to 300 subs, I got a somewhat related video to this topic that I will love to share with you guys. So if we get to 300 subs, I will be making a separate video specifically geared around Donkey Kong. I won't tell you guys what it is yet, but I hope you enjoy it. I found it when I was moving all this stuff. I found it. I was like, you know what would be a good idea for a 300 sub celebration? And then I found it, and I was like, oh yeah, that would be a lot of fun to show off. And leave a comment down below on your guys' thoughts on this new game. Do you guys think it's as good as I say it is, or do you think, you know, it's good but not really that good? Have you ever played Donkey Kong games? You know, leave it down in the comments. I'm sure I will reply to it. And yeah, so anyway, guys, have a great one wherever you are. I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.